Welcome back. We go on over to Money Man Mike Eppel this Monday morning. Good morning to you. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Melanie, how are you?
I don't have a nickname like Money Man. I need something fun like that. Even though I just made that up. I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. As we always do, we start with a look at the numbers, and you say it's a case of the Monday blues.
Yeah, it sure is. We're actually coming off the worst week for stocks in 3 months. Last week was sort of a reset. We had seen record highs and for certain benchmarks, and everybody was kind of going, whoa, slow it down a little bit. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now. We've seen an uptrend in the number of COVID-19 cases in 4 U.S. states, and this has got a little bit of a worrying signal, certainly about the restart plans. And again, investors are going, okay, this is going to happen along the way here, and they're taking money out of the market this morning. The Dow futures currently down about 500 points. And last week, the TSX was up in just 1 out of 5 trading days, and that was Friday where it saw a little bit of a bounce. But it looks like this morning we are going to see a downturn. Price for oil is down a little bit. The Canadian dollar starting things off at 73.25 cents U.S.
Mike, we were talking on Friday about the future of the movie theater industry, and yeah, a lot of people have questions on what it's going to look like. And now we have this big announcement here.
A deal that was in the works before the pandemic broke out was the buyout of Cineplex. Cineworld out of the UK offered $2.2 billion. And the idea here was to combine to streamline, have better buying power for certain things. I mean, they're competing against the streaming industry, right? And in fact, during the pandemic, some of the movie theater companies have actually launched streaming services of their own to some extent. Then Friday, Cineworld pulled the deal off the table, saying that Cineplex had breached certain terms. And Cineplex is saying, what are you talking about? So they've countered, saying there is no reason to scrap the deal other than the fact that, you know, the industry has just been shut down. And maybe Cineworld is saying it just doesn't make sense at $2.2 billion because they don't know the future of the movie theater industry. So this is going to go now into the legal realm, and Cineplex stock on Bay Street this year is down about 40% plus and is probably going to see more selling pressure at the start of trade this morning.
Yikes. All right, let's talk a little bit about Tim Hortons. If you know a frontline hero, here's your opportunity to put the spotlight on them.
Yeah, just launching a new campaign today to have these limited edition coffee cups with the names of 100 heroes nominated by Canadians. They've just opened their website starting today to nominate someone who's been at the front line of the pandemic, and they'll choose these names and put them on these special cups, likely later this summer is what they're saying. But yeah, kind of a nice promotion there by Tim's to recognize those who have been at the forefront of the pandemic, who've had to go to work and deal with everything that's been going on.
Nice. And there's the website that you can see, herocups.timhortons.ca, so you could do it there. Finally, for you, Mike, you're watching a few things going on this week.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting week from an economic standpoint because, again, we're going to see whether or not the economy has actually turned or hit the lows and has now started to recover. We'll have real estate sales results from the Canadian Real Estate Association today. Later in the week, retail spending numbers, and those are expected to see a bounce, certainly from the slump in April, and also inflation data. And Melanie, that's a key one because if we're seeing prices drop, that indicates there's no buying power, you know, and that's actually an economic negative. So some very interesting numbers that'll be due this week, and it will give us a clearer picture of what's going on in the economy.
Oh, what's going on? All of it, Mike.
Tough to gauge, tough to gauge.
Okay, thank you. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
All right.